everybody, I am Scotty J. Welcome back to Rock Titan Live, and as always, we have an awesome show for you today. If you enjoy this podcast every bit as much as I know you will, please show us a little bit of love and give us a subscribe and, watch this all the way to the end, and, you'll see some cool links to other interviews we've done recently with other major rock stars, just like these guys we have on the show right now. But it's been a little while. It's been a little while since these dudes came out with some big time music, and rightfully so. A lot of people kind of took a break over the last year and a half or so. Things have been kind of nutty, and folks that had stuff maybe even in the queue going back as far as 2019, once 2020 hits, like, oh my gosh, I'm not really going to be able to go out and tour and support this anyway. So everybody watching, you all know we've been kind of stuck in this lull. It's been a long time. Now, the cool thing about saying it's been a long time is that is a big-time single that these guys just put out not too long ago. First new music in a while. And they also have a new guitarist in the band, which a lot of you guys might know is the original guitarist from Breaking Benjamin. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by Earshot lead singer Wil Martin and their new guitarist, Aaron Fink. Guys, how are you?
What's up, man?
All right. So for everybody that may not know, because Aaron, Wil, and I were having some fun off the air, Wil is the one who has, looks like he's got some pretty long locks these days, and he's got the little fuzz on the chin there, whereas Aaron's got the full-blown beard, like yours truly. But I think it's probably safe to say that
we had our COVID.
Yeah.
COVID lockdown looks happening.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're not kidding, Wil. Oh my gosh. But Earshot, man. We got to be talking some, Earshot, what you guys have going on for 2020, 2021. What the hell am I talking about? See, I'm already stuck in 2020, 2021, man. But, so already, you, Wil, you are out there in Los Angeles, and Aaron, you're up there in Wilkes-Barre. My home away from home, and of course,
Kentucky.
Yeah, man. So I'm just here south of Philadelphia myself. So I definitely appreciate your guys' time. But like I was saying, been a long time. That is your newest single, I guess it's out there right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, and I know you have an official music video supporting that. Wil, go ahead.
We do. We just came out beginning of the year.
Yep.
We cobbled together a music video the best that we could, considering that we all live in different areas of the country, and it's doing really well considering. I mean, we released it independently.
Right.
We're not currently on a major label at the moment, so considering all of that, the single's done really well, and we can't wait to get out and actually get together again and play these songs. We've kind of done all of these things virtually, dating back to, I think, May of last year when we released Uninvited, which was a cover song that we did of Alanis Morissette.
Right. Right.
So we've been staying busy, but we're also working on some new stuff as well. But been a long time is
aptly named.
Great.
It is aptly named.
Yeah.
But Wil, you brought up something interesting, and I want to get your take first.
People seem to really.
No, I was just gonna say I wanted to get you guys' take on because something you brought up, Wil. As far as the major record labels, Earshot, coming out of the gate, you guys were signed to some major record labels, and of course, Aaron, you being with Breaking Benjamin, you guys are major record labels. Now that you guys are going a little bit more the independent route, can you see yourselves remaining independent, or would it be your preference to get back on a major label again? And the reason I ask is because even some really, really well-established musicians, numerous established musicians I've talked to, just like yourselves, they now prefer to remain more independent versus being on a label. I guess, Aaron, I'll ask you first. I mean, you've been there, done that. What are your thoughts on
it? My thoughts on that are, being independent is cool, and it's freeing. I guess. But you still need to assemble some sort of team. I think you still need, you know, a lawyer, a publicist, a manager, all that good stuff, a tour manager. Because I think musicians are just most musicians are kind of space cadets and, you know, sit around, smoke weed all day or what have you. you need like the adults in the room to come in and kind of lead the way and get everybody organized and show people schedules and this is what we're doing and be on time and that kind of stuff. Because I think without that stuff, if you're just, you know, a guy or two in the band is leading the ship, it's, you know, like a producer, they're almost like a referee in a sense, or like a school teacher, you know, keeping the kids in line. You need somebody to kind of steer the ship, but you just need help. I mean, I can't get stuff done in Los Angeles, right, per se. So you need like a network and a team of people to I mean, these days it's easier, but you know, also there's bands like Foo Fighters and things that have their own label.
Sure.
But they're the Foo Fighters. They can sell out a stadium. So it's easy for the big dogs to be like, yeah, we'll go independent because the brand name sells itself. You know, Metallica has Blackened is their label, but for the smaller fish in the sea, it's tough. You know, it's not as easy as you think.
Right.
You know, that's my take on it.
Now, Will, would it be safe to say that you're on the same page?
If you're going to be independent, you need some sort of...
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's not even necessarily about the money so much, because I know that labels aren't even necessarily giving bands, you know, the money up front, you know, when it comes to, you know, producing the music and, you know, paying your sound engineers, all the stuff that's involved with making music. You know, I know that labels just aren't fronting the kind of bill that they did once upon a time, like, you know, talking 15, 20 years ago. But to your point, Aaron, still having that network, the team of people, that's invaluable in and of itself. Will, would it be safe to say that you're kind of in the same vein of thought as Aaron when it comes to that?
Yeah, for the most part, I think what Aaron's trying to say is you still have to have a team of people to do the things that we're not good at, right? We're not publicists. We're not marketers. We're not digital marketers. We're not, you know, we don't sit around and come up with clever ways to tweet and Facebook or whatever else our content. That's not how we're wired. So we have to go out and we have to assemble a team of people that knows how to do this stuff, and that costs money. So for bigger bands, it's easy to do. They've done exactly what Aaron is saying, except they have a lot more, you know, financing in their war chest to go out and hire the very best people and kind of have, for lack of a better term, a label, a bona fide label. We're doing the same thing. Ours is just much more scaled down. We have some great people, you know, on our team that help us with this, obviously.
DNK publicity, yeah.
Through that help. So
yeah,
there you go. So I mean, so it's just it's a matter of being resourceful, I think, is what it is, along with having some financing and being creative. But you can't, you know, lose sight of the fact that it's all about the music too. If you don't have the songs that, you know, people are interested in listening to, then none of it matters.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm right on board with you. So speaking of the music, you know, and the quality, and if it's not there, then, you know, nothing else matters, to your point. Will, how did Aaron, you know, figure into the equation with Earshot, you know, like, because I know that obviously he wasn't involved with you early on. How did this relationship come to be? I'll ask you about it, Aaron, but Will, I'm just curious for you first. What made you go out and grab Aaron? Did he come to you? Did you go to him? What happened there?
It was all pretty organic. We met back in 2004. We had a string of festival shows that both our bands were on, and we just hit it off. We were hanging out with each other. I think, you know, it was a nice, at least speaking for myself, it was nice to get away from the people that I saw every day and be able to talk to somebody outside of my bubble. And so we, would have some drinks, listen to some really obscure Americana artists and bands that we were both into. And I think that's where, for me anyway, that's where I kind of built a kindredship musically with Aaron, because he was somebody that liked music that most people that I know didn't really like or were into. So we stayed in touch on and off over the years, since 2004. And Aaron had been working on some solo stuff, I believe it was, and he had sent me a text asking if there was if I would be up to singing on a track that he'd been working on.
Oh,
and
cool.
I said sure. And then that was right around the time when we were getting a couple of offers to do some Earshot shows, which we hadn't done in about 6-7 years. And I texted him back actually and asked him if he'd be interested in, doing some shows. That we had some shows, and he said he was up for it, and he learned everything on his own by ear, only to have me come back and tell him that, some things weren't right. And then that began the frustration of going back and forth, which actually was necessary because it helped us to figure out how we were going to record songs and produce them remotely. So it all kind of worked out, and everything kind of fell into place just the way it should. So all very organically.
That's cool.
Together.
That's cool. Now, for you, Aaron, I mean, being the original guitarist, really one of the founding members of Breaking Benjamin, who is huge. And I gotta say, I love all of the work that you did with that band. Absolutely incredible, my friend. That being said, I have to imagine, because of the success that you had with them, I mean, you could have your pick, pretty much of any kind of band that you may want to jump on with and play with, or even start your own band and have your pick of other musicians that would want to get involved in, a project of your own. What was it for you? Now, I heard Will's take on this, but, working with a vocalist like Burnley, how does Will size up? And I guess what was it that kind of attracted you to becoming the new guitarist for Earshot?
Ooh, there's a lot of questions there. Thank you for the compliments, first of all. But, just kind of the story that he was saying. But I have been doing other projects the last, 10 years or whatever. They just weren't necessarily in the spotlight or had a lot of attention put on them. But so I haven't been sitting around.
Right.
This is just like an opportunity that's like the brand name is bigger and there's more attention put on it, but which is all good. As far as the two singers go, I mean they're both great in their own right, in their own way. So that's a weird. I'm not going to compare them or anything.
I'm putting you on the spot, man. I wouldn't expect you to, no, because honestly,
Will can hit a high F sharp and Ben can only hit an F.
Right, yeah, no, that's cool. But no, and I was not trying to insinuate at all, Aaron, or Will for that matter, that you guys have kind of just been like sitting around, and like, not being busy, totally. But just in terms of doing anything really, like you said, kind of the spotlights on it, something where it's getting a lot of attention. Because I got to tell you, it's been a long time. Might as well get into that single and talk about some of the things you guys have going on. I mean, just based upon hearing that, I mean, you had all that success. I'm talking about Earshot now, with Get Away. That was huge. It was on the Billboard charts way up there for a long, long time, and I definitely see you guys certainly getting back to that level of greatness, back to that level of attention. But now we are in such a different landscape, which again, Will, you really kind of touched on that, it's different. It's a different kind of a challenge working together with your various band members because you're so spread out. And it's not a matter of just being spread out, but even if you wanted to travel to be together, even if you wanted to and had the means to be in the same room, there are, just the things going on today that are prohibitive. and restrictive to doing that. But I guess what's the plan? I know that sounds kind of like a big, broad statement right now, but I read something not too long ago where you guys were talking about releasing singles. But are you guys kind of focused on putting out an EP or even maybe a full LP in 2021, maybe early 22? Will?
So we've, I guess, without having really discussed it as a band, what we seem to be doing is we just seem to be assembling these songs, and as we finish them, we go, well, do we put it out or do we wait? Well, we put it out, right? So we've just been releasing single songs at a time in that regard, not really planning one way or the other, whether to put it out as an EP or an album. We're certainly open to that, but we believe that it's a good time to put out music to fans because, as we all know, painfully are aware of, that there are no really shows happening. So really all our fans have to do is to, watch YouTube and listen to new music if they can get their hands on it. So I'd like to think that in some way that helps people with sort of some of the effects of, the isolation that's been happening for the last year now, which is what Been a Long Time is based on. It's not about how long it's been since we've put out music. That's what the initial idea is for most people that hear the title of the song. It's actually about how long can one be isolated for before we start to sort of lose our minds. And there's a lot of effects out there for mental health that we're not hearing about. And I think it's important to sort of put a spotlight on that.
I couldn't agree with you more. I could not agree with you more on that. Now, that being said, let's talk about the personality of the band a little bit and the overall sound, because Earshot does have a nice sized catalog. Even at this point in time, you guys have put out a lot of solid music. Now, for you, Aaron, I'm just curious, because of your background and the music that you've played with other musicians, do you find yourself being a guitarist, like, do you kind of listen to that early Earshot work and kind of want to stay true to that kind of sound? Because I think it's safe to say that every band kind of has a distinctive sound, even though it may vary and you make some different types of songs and everything like that. There's always this trademark. Like when you hear a band, it's them. When you hear the singer, it's them. When you hear the guitarist, it's them. Like you just know. Did you have any thoughts of trying to stay true to some of the Earshot early work, Aaron? Or do you see yourself really kind of wanting to put your own stamp on the band, being the guitarist that you are?
I mean, I think Will, hired me for a reason. I think that we came up in the early 2000s in a similar genre, where there's, I don't know if you play guitar at all, but there's a lot of like the drop D style music and the guitar chords and the shapes that come out of just tuning that one string down. So, and Will and I both grew up listening to Metallica and things like that. So, I mean, I get how that genre works and how it's supposed to be played and stuff. So it wasn't a big stretch for me to learn his previous guitar player. And I think Will plays guitar on a lot of these songs. He certainly writes them, but it wasn't a stretch for me to kind of get into that zone. As far as going forward, I would like, to have some creative license to put my own stamp on things. I think one thing, even just from the couple songs that we've done so far, that is different is there's more of like guitar solos on it, which a lot of I haven't learned his entire catalog yet, but the songs I learned in the past, I don't didn't really have distinct guitar solos on them. So that might be something that, you know, and again, I'm all about whatever's best for the song. If a song doesn't require a guitar solo, I wouldn't put it in there. But if it's a rocker and there's the gap, you know, put it in there. So it's, you know, it's all to taste.
Right on.
All,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Well, I know that you guys have other things to do with your day other than just talk to me all day. But again, everybody, I am Scotty J. You're watching Rock Titan Live, and we're here with a couple of dudes from Earshot. But so moving forward, you know, and then we'll wrap this up. But, you know, you pray to God, right? Or you pray to whatever you believe in, you know, whatever higher power. I hope everyone believes there's a higher power. There certainly has to be, I would think, whether they're loving or not. That 2021 is going to be a better summer than 2020 was. You know, I mean, we need live music. We need to get back to the music festivals. We need to have that happen. Whatever it needs to be to make that happen, it has to happen. So for you guys, have you guys talked about, and you don't have to, divulge any significant details if you have done this, you know, because I know some things have to be private in-house and whatnot, but has there at least been the talk of when the floodgates open back up? And I got to imagine it's going to be significant. Are you guys ready to get out there and play live? Are you yearning to play live as Earshot? Will?
Yeah, I think I speak for all of us when I say that we're, you know, eager to get out and, you know, play some songs. I think that, you know, we'd be happy, you know, even hearing about other bands out there would give us some kind of, you know, glimmer of hope. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I know a lot of the European festivals have been or will be canceled this year, moved to next year. I saw a post from Dan Donegan from Disturbed. I think Disturbed has canceled their 2021 dates too, unfortunately, for their anniversary of their first album. So we hate seeing stuff like that, and it kind of is a little bit of a gut punch because it just makes you wonder if that's happening to them. You know, what's going to be the trickle down effect of that, you know, later on, and maybe it won't be as bad as we think. But no, we're definitely eager to get back to normal life again.
Anything tentative? Because you know, all these festivals are still planned. You know, and I guess I'll just talk more to the festivals versus independent tours because, you know, they're two totally different animals. Is there anything that you guys are tentatively slated to be a part of in terms of like larger tickets that you guys might potentially be playing on?
So I'm currently talking with a promoter in Las Vegas, actually, about doing a show with limited capacity audience, and where they will also live stream to people that want to, you know, chime in on it. So it won't be just a typical live stream, but there'll actually be some audience there. So they're still working the details of that out, but so far that's all that we have going on right now at the moment. And I've been asking around to some of our other peers that are out touring, and there's nothing really concrete and solid. It looks like more of the smaller venues are going to be opening up before the bigger ones. So, you know, maybe we'll go and do an intimate style run of shows, you know, in venues. It's too hard to say at the moment, but the Las Vegas thing is really the only thing that we have on the table currently.
Okay. Yeah, we had a festival booked for, I think it was Knoxville, right? And that was in April, and that got canceled. So
now, what about the whole live streaming? I know a lot of folks are doing live streaming events. Is there any thoughts on that in terms of you guys maybe doing some exclusive live streaming events?
I think that would be easier if we all lived close by. To make that happen, we'd all have to fly, you know, to the same spot and rehearse and get that all together. It would be quite a project. I'm up for it for sure. We'd have to. I imagine the pre-sales of that would have to be significant to make that all come to fruition, but it's not. It's definitely something I'd be up for, you know.
All right. Now, anything immediate we could
for it too. It's just at the same time I can't.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. There was like a little lag there, but
Go ahead. We have a lag going on here.
Yeah. No, it's all good. That's why we got to wrap this baby up. But so been a long time. That's the most recent thing you put out. Do we have anything else like immediately that we can expect? Maybe prior to summer, anything new that you guys are going to be releasing? Any new singles?
Well, we're sort of waiting for letting been a long time kind of run its course. There's still some fuel in its tank, so we already have another single in the can. We're just going to get it mixed here probably pretty soon, but we've got another song that Aaron introduced to the band, which I think will be his first mistake. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, but I think it's the first full song that he's written since he's come into the fold there, and it's pretty awesome.
Nice. I have no doubt that it is. I have no doubt. All right, cool. Well, Aaron, I cannot wait to hear all the cool stuff you've got going on with Wil. I mean, that just to hear the music that you've made in the past, bringing that to the Earshot family, I think that's absolutely awesome. So kudos to you both. I'm glad you guys connected. And man, I'm really looking forward to hearing all the new Earshot stuff that, I hope is going to be coming out and, later 2021, 2022. We need to get back to some normalcy here, man. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Scotty J, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. You got it.
Dude.
All right. So, again, everybody, I am Scotty J. You're watching Rock Titan Live. And if you did enjoy this podcast, which I absolutely know you did, go out, show us some love, give us a subscribe, and go out and subscribe to Earshot's channel on YouTube. I just did that recently myself. You can go check out, some of their older videos and stuff like that prior to Aaron joining the family. But you'll definitely be able to go see Been a Long Time, which despite all the challenges, in today's environment, it absolutely rocks. And, again, we're talking Aaron Fink, and we are here with Wil Martin. And guys, thanks again. And Scotty J, Rock Titan Live, we're out.